There is a trap on your journey when you start to seek and you want to change yourself. And the trap is that you try to change yourself. Sometimes it's good to just withdraw and don't engage in your patterns. And that also means to not engage in trying to change them. Often, when we try to change our patterns, we actually go into judging them. When in fact, if we could just stay in the observation that the pattern is happening, we don't engage in trying to change them, and we don't engage in nourishing the pattern. And let's be honest, we live in a life in a world where we are completely controlled by the pattern until we start to heal them and to become more free of them. And it's not all patterns we have to come fully free from. Some of them is still serving a purpose in our life, and it's important to remember that. But the more you try to change them and you actually judge this part of yourself, you're not allowing this white light of consciousness to into your entire being. But if you actually stop for a moment to try to change and just observe and stay in your own stillness of witnessing that something is happening inside of you, a pattern that is holding you back, but you don't judge it, you don't try to change it, you just stay with it. Stay with it for a moment to see what happens. Then you allow this stillness to be entered by this white light, and instead of allowing the energy to stay up in the head where you're trying to figure stuff out, because let's be honest, this is what happens when we try to change our patterns. We stay in the mind and we put all the energy up here, and we try to figure out how to change it. Sometimes there's nothing for you to change. There's nothing for you to actually do. There's a natural rhythm in life that is created by the divine, and this divine light, that is it which actually controls your destiny. It happens through your own will, yes, to a certain degree, but the rest of it actually just happens by itself in a natural rhythm, and it's not up to you to change it. What you have to do in the moment is actually just to observe it and stand in the middle of not acting towards it and not trying to change it either, because then you're also acting. And no matter what, when you try to act, you don't allow the white light and the consciousness to enter this field in you. Because patterns is unconscious movements of the personality that has not really fully realized itself yet. And when it hasn't fully realized itself yet, it just keeps on walking in the same pattern, the same loop, in the same circle. And you are even walking in this. And the trap is that today we are trying so hard to change, and we try to change. And the more we do this, the more we judge ourselves, and the more we start to not value ourselves, and we look wrong and bad about ourselves. Because we judge something, and judging is a very heavy energy that pulls us down. And it still stays in the head. So the more we actually try to change stuff by figuring stuff out, we stay up here. We pull all the energy up here. But in the moment where we just surrender and we look upon that there is a pattern, and we just fully embrace it in that moment, we pull the energy down here in surrendering. And when you pull the energy down here, you open to the emptiness that comes from your spiritual heart. And that comes with a light that actually by itself and by the natural law changes the patterns to something that serves you even better in your purpose. There's a beauty in knowing and surrendering to that you don't have to figure stuff out. That everything is already destined. You just have to follow that and not be in control. That is not easy. And I'm not here to tell you just have to do that, because you don't have to do anything. Because you don't have to change. You don't have to change. Change will happen naturally for you. You just have to stay open to it. So don't try to figure stuff out. Or at least just observe when you're trying to figure stuff out. and see what happens in you. See what happens in you when you begin to choose this. Maybe not everywhere, but just try, play with it. Play with that emptiness. Play with that stillness of not trying to change yourself. Because believe me when I say, most people out there today, they are so busy with developing themselves because they want to become a better person, that they become very heavy by their heart because they judge themselves and they pull themselves down. And they're trying so hard to find a way to change. Just be with it. Be with it for a moment and see what happens. Magic can happen from this place. So if you resonate with it, give it a chance and feel free to contact me with any questions. And else, may you walk in beauty.